All right. Looks like we're about to go live and just checking it out now. It looks like YouTube is taking the signal and we're live. All right, guys. Thanks for joining the live today. All right. And so I'll go ahead and mute my phone as well. So, guys, welcome to the live stream. One sec. I got to just check this here. Okay. Welcome to the live stream. We're doing episode 2 of the RX1. All right, so it's so it's episode 2 of the RX1R III. It's my second day with it, and I'm going to talk to you guys about how it went out in the streets, in the bright sunlight, and also at nighttime. Went to a dinner party. First of all, if anybody tells you this camera is overpriced, it's not. There are Casios, there are Seikos, and then there are Rolexes and Patek Philippe's. Yes, the Casios and the Seikos will never skip a beat. They will last forever. They have batteries. You don't need to wind them. There's a lot of different benefits. They're practical. But there's a reason why you or many people, maybe not you, many people would rather wear a Rolex or a Patek Philippe. There's benefits to both. And there's value. There's different values to both, right? And a lot of times these Rolexes and Patek Philippe's hold their value better. Actually, probably more so than the Casios and Seikos, right? You can sell a Rolex now for more after you purchase it than what you paid for it at the store. The same is not true for this camera. I don't think it's ever sold for more used or, after the initial purchase. So I don't think it's ever gone for over MSRP, but it does hold its value. People are saying the Mark II version, the prior version of the RX1R III, is holding its value really well still, 10 years later. And I think this camera coming out at $5,100 might have lifted the value or the price of the Mark II. So I had someone tell me about the GR4 having IBIS and them saying, well, you can't even compare it. This camera, the RX1R III doesn't have IBIS. It doesn't have this. It doesn't have that. And we can go through the list. No, it doesn't have IBIS. But also there are $12,000 or $10,000 Leicas that don't have IBIS. And you still have to buy a lens on top of the price of the body. But it has a full frame sensor. It has a viewfinder. It has an EVF. The GR4 doesn't have an EVF. Yeah, sure, this EVF could be a little better, but I've been using this camera for 2 days straight now, pretty much all day these 2 days, and it's phenomenal. The viewfinder is incredible. The lens is phenomenal. It's got character. It's fast. It focuses. It's lightning fast. We're going to go through pictures right now and show you. I even did actually on the first episode of my experiences with the RX1R III, I held the camera up and I focused on Sanaz that was sitting in that chair. I'm going to show you the pictures of it in a second because I have those ready now. And I showed you guys watch my screen. As soon as I pressed the shutter, or like lightly pressed it, it zoomed, it focused right on her eye, like instant, every time. So you guys saw the little green dot on her eyeball every time I did that on the camera. It does that in real life. There was a lot of photos that were out of focus in yesterday's episode that I did with this when I was showing you the street pictures I took the day prior to that. Those were not in focus. A major reason was my fault. I had it in single focus, where you press it and it stays in that focus. Instead of being continuous autofocus, I think it's called single focus. So let me just take a look at that setting. Yeah, so there's autofocus, there's continuous autofocus, which is what it's all on now. And it was in, I had it in single shot autofocus because a lot of times I like to hold the shutter button down, it locks on whatever I want it to lock on, and then I kind of move a little bit to frame my shot. But when I was doing street photography and taking pictures of people walking by me while I was holding my FX3 in the other hand, so I had this in my hand like this, and I had the FX3 in this hand recording live streaming, and I was just shooting people walking. I should have had it in continuous autofocus because the people are moving still, and it's a distance where that focus range changes. So we'll go through. We'll look at the pictures from the last stream I did in Huntington Beach that I did yesterday. We'll go through those pictures and see if those are in focus, because a lot of people saying, because of the IBIS and this, that, and the other, or the lens is not able to keep up with the chip in the camera, and the camera is smarter than its own lens, and all kinds of things like that. Also, I shot with this in the bright sunlight with no lens hood. So I shot the other day with the lens hood. This time I did it without. I want to see what happens. I personally kind of like lens flare in a picture. It looks a little OG. It looks kind of cool. It looks photographic to me, but that's a subjective thing. Anyway, I tried it out to see how it looks. So we're going to see how that looks. And I'm loving how this is looking right now in this picture. That's really cool. It's a beautiful camera. It's very nice. I use this flash in the direct sunlight and at night when I went to the dinner party and in the Uber and. So I've been using this flash a lot. There's quite a few shots where I didn't use it, so we'll look at those too. But my experience with it on day 2 running around, it's just absolutely incredible. It's lightning fast autofocus, and I have this is the Artisan strap we talked about. Still love it. It's now kind of softening up a little bit more, so it's becoming even more comfortable. So I just do this, guys. This is how I do this. I just put it on and I go like that. So I'm walking around like this. This is you're now looking through the FX3. That's what I'm streaming on right now. And that's what I was holding in this hand. And I was just walking around shooting. Boom, 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 boom. Just like this with this flash. So those of you wondering, I have the Zeiss. It's a Zeiss UV filter on the front. So it got a little protection for this lens, and a little UV filter. So we'll see how that did in these pictures. I don't think we're going to notice any difference with that. There's the glass protector on the back. Look at that. You can almost not even tell I have a glass screen protector. You can see right there on the edges right here. But it's a Sony branded glass screen protector. That's a smudge. That's not anything else. That's just a smudge like that right there. And I just touched the lens after I cleaned it. Annoying. Anyway, I got to clean it again now. So it's performing fast. The battery was at 30% after a whole hour and almost hour and a half of constantly leaving it on and taking, I don't know how many photos I took. I did then recharge it when I went out at night. And so I never once had a time when I was like, oh no, my battery's dead, I can't use it. Not once. All these people telling you that if people are telling you the battery sucks, I'm wondering, are they like, do they have like is it the camera like Sony? I think these are the like influencers that Sony sends them these cameras to check out for a week. Like, is it where like they're sending out the same camera and it's getting abused, and somehow the battery life on that camera they're testing sucks? I don't know, but this is my own. I bought and I love it, and the battery is just not that bad at all. At all. I was, with all the reviews I saw, I was like, dude, I'm gonna have to be, buying another battery. I gotta carry a charger, or something, right? But no need. The battery's fine on it. I love that it doesn't have a flip out screen. And it's not because I'm forcing myself to like this camera more or something like that. No, I have the FX3 has a flip out screen. My A7 IV had a flip out screen. The FX30 had a flip out screen. Sanaz's, where is it? Her ZV1 Mark II has a flip out screen, and I hate it. I'm tired of it because think about this on the Sony flip out screens, not the little tilt screens. Those are kind of cool, might be good, but the Sony flip out screens, if you want to tilt it up a little bit, you can't just tilt it up. You have to flip it all the way out, and then you got to tilt it up, right? So whenever you want to use that screen, it's a process. But it's forcing you to get used to not having it, and I'm getting used to not having a flip out screen. So I learned if I take the camera and I go like this and take a picture of something like that without seeing the screen, like if I can't see the screen, and I miss it, I learned that okay, I should have been like this, and then the next time, I get better and better and better, and then I learn I could just go like I'm not even looking at the screen. I go like this, boom, and I'll get someone right perfectly in frame. So it's forcing me to use my intuition or to use my kind of judgment on where is that shot if I can't see it. If I have to go low, like I'll go do a low shot and I'll just know like there's the lens and it's pointing towards that subject and that's the framing and it's working fine and I'm getting better and better every time. And it saves me the time of having to flip a freaking screen. I don't have to do it. And that's the whole point of this camera. I got this camera because I don't want a big A7 IV. I traded mine in. I don't want an FX30. I don't want well, that's not a competition for this, but I don't want a bigger camera. I want a small camera, carry it with me. Something's catching my eye. I want to shoot the picture fast. I don't want to flip out a screen. And I'd rather get used to not having a flip screen and being good at judging which way I got to hold the camera and just boom. The GR4 doesn't have a flip screen. How the heck do people get pictures with those? How are people getting pictures with a GR4, bro? Because they figure it out. They use it so much. It's in their pocket every day. You use the GR4 so much, you learn where to point that camera to get the shot and the framing that you want. That's how it works. And that's how this works. You just figure it out. So that's the frame part and that's the screen part. And I actually love that about it. And I love the fact that if it helped make the camera as light as it is, great, because I love the lightness of it. I'm trying to think what else is there that the film looks I'm getting used to still. I'm shooting RAW and JPEG usually. I'm doing both. The settings that I'm using in the sun, we'll go through and see them right now. And so that's not a good shot that I took. That was a blown out picture. But here are some pictures that I took in the direct sun, and I'll go through. We'll zoom in. We'll check them out and see what it is. But I'm loving the fact that it's lightweight. I love the fact that I can hold it in my hand like this all for an hour and a half straight, just like this, and not get tired. I'm just boom, 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 holding a whole FX3, which was kind of tiring. But I have a 16 mil lens, so I can hold it close to me and not get exhausted. But this thing, bam, 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 all day long, and not even once thinking about the weight or I want to rest my hand or anything like that. I'm just going. And not worrying about battery, not worrying about settings. I'm on aperture priority and auto ISO. And I'm having a great old time. Oh, not once in the bright sunlight did I need this UV filter that I bought. I bought this thing. It's almost $200 with tax. Haven't opened the box yet. Went 2 days in the bright sunlight. Haven't opened the box yet. So go figure. Have not used the UV filter. I mean, an ND filter. Have not needed an ND filter. And I went out with the lens hood. If I don't need the lens hood, I'm going to rock it just like this. I want it light. I want it small. I want a small form factor. And I put it in this, by the way. This is how I carry it. So I have this thing, and I'll show you guys real quick. So this is what I carry on me. It's a Louis whatever you call it, bum bag or whatever they call them. And then I take the flash. Like if I'm trying to carry it with, I'm trying to carry it in my hand like this all the time. But if I want to get in the car and drive, or I want to go somewhere and not, or if I want to put it away for some reason and do something, I take it off. I take the flash off, and I pop it in here like this. I have the flash in there in a little bag. I'm not doing that now, but I have the flash in a little bag, and then I put this in here like this, and I put that up, and I zip it up. Right now it's not playing with me, but I put it in like this, and I do one of those, and it's gone. Right? So anyway, that's how I'm rocking it, and I'm trying not to keep it in here, because if I keep it in here, then it's not ready when I want to use it. So I want to have it ready in my hand, ready to go, and that's working out great. That's exactly what I wanted it for. I love taking pictures. I've been doing it since I was a kid. When I got my first camcorder and all this kind of stuff. But then took pictures of eBay items when I was buying and selling, vintage watches and all kinds of cars, buying and selling classic cars that we were rebuilding. And I always had a camera, and now I have one again, another small camera that I can carry that is just a monster. GR4 versus this. To me, it's like, again, it's like a Casio or Seiko versus a Rolex. And I think Leica could be, let's just say it's the Patek Philippe, where it's more expensive, but it's very similar to the Rolex. It's mechanical. It's got a movement where you got to wind it if you don't wear it for a few days. And I like that. That's the kind of person I am. I mean, I'm a watch guy. I just told you I used to buy and sell watches. Here's a beautiful Piaget with a lapis lazuli dial, rose gold, beautiful piece. Guys, I'm not trying to show off. I'm not like Mr. Rich, super loaded rich guy. I just been doing these things for a long time, and if you do things right, they accumulate. Here's another version of that watch that I got. These are custom made. I had them make it for me. Look at this. This is a malachite dial. It doesn't even have indicators for time. Guys, look at that. That's a real stone malachite dial. And if you look at that, do you know what time it is right now? If I show you this watch right now, do you know what time it is? No. If I show you this watch, do you know what time it is? You still don't. Maybe you do, maybe you don't, for those of you that watch. But again, if someone's telling you online that this, if someone says this watch, if someone says this camera is overpriced, I mean, I'm going to tell you, it's like saying it's like a Casio versus a Rolex. You can tell time on the Casio just fine, but a lot of us would rather wear a Rolex. And and again, I wear a watch where most people wouldn't even be able to tell time. I have to look at it for a second, even myself, to see what time it is, but I enjoy wearing the watch, and I'd rather wear that watch. And that's what this is. It's not overpriced. It's something that does that same thing and more. Has a bigger sensor than the GR4. It has a viewfinder. It has this. It has that. It's an F2, right? On a full frame. Anyway, I'll get to that. But it does all those things. It does some things better. The GR4 does some things better. But it's just it's a nicer experience. It's something that I would rather and that I prefer to use daily than the GR4. I just kind of went through the motions, and that's what I decided, it's going to happen. So that's what I did. I'd rather wear a nice piece, a nice watch than Casio. I wear my Casio to the gym and to the sauna. I do 30-minute sessions in the sauna. I wear my Casio and I time things. So I have uses, and who knows, maybe I'll get a GR4. Maybe I'll get a Ricoh GR4 and rock that in some places where for some reason I wouldn't take this. But I got to see, are there times when I think that I would, get a benefit out of that? And if so, then I'll do that. I'll get a Ricoh GR4. I love that camera. That's a sweet, sweet, sweet camera. Amazing camera. So, now, guys, this reference that I made with these two watches and the Pateks and this and that, maybe I'm being a little extreme with it, but you get the point. You know what I mean? So, anyway, I was getting back to this. The Ricoh GR4 is f2.8. This is f4. F4 on a full frame is not the same as, I'm sorry, this is f2. This is f2. The Ricoh GR4 is f2.8. F2 on a full frame camera is not the same as f2 on a crop sensor APS-C camera. F2 on this would be like f1.4 on the GR4, okay? And that's in a sense of a depth of field. So how much, let's just say, blur you'll have in the background, or how much is in focus, how much bokeh or whatever you want to call it, which I don't really care that much about, to be honest, because I'm shooting mostly like in f4, f5.6, f8, because I want people to see the background. I want to see what else is in the frame. When I first started in photography, like many of you guys probably did, if you may relate to this, we'd like try to get the f1.8, and is there a 1.4? Oh, now there's a 1.2. Let me get the crazy bokeh and let me do blur backgrounds, and all we're doing is trying to blur every background we take a picture of. So not the case anymore, especially with the live streaming that I do. I'm shooting in f4 right now, so you could see a little better what my background is. Sometimes I like to shoot like this, watch. Sometimes I like to shoot like this. This is f18. My ISO is at 12,800 on the FX3, but now you could see my fish tank clearly. You could see probably the little baby guppies that are growing up. You could see them swimming around. You could see the Porsche better in my background. Let me actually adjust it so you can see that better. It's a cool little thing. So there we go. You could see the plant. You could see the hubcap of the Porsche 356. And so you could see all these things better. That's f18. It's a little aggressive. So I'm going to put it down to like f8. So that's f9. There is f8, and you could still see all that stuff clearly behind me. That's the whole point of the stream, and sometimes, these kind of things. Definitely when I go out and about, you'll see in the videos that I do a high, I'm like at f8 and, out there running around, because people prefer to see the environment that I'm in. And I do that because I would prefer that. So, I feel like if it works, then more people would prefer it too. I know when I watch people's streams, I want to see what's going on. I don't want to see just one part of it and everything is blurred. You know what I mean? So anyway, there's a difference in the f-stop between this and the GR4. There's a lot of differences. But again, I think the GR4 has its place, and I think this has its place, and I think they both do the same things. Well, some of them, this does some things better, that does some things better. That one's definitely more portable, and IBIS is probably good, but we'll see. Did I have an issue with focusing? I don't think I did, but we'll see. I'm looking at these for the first time. A couple of them I've seen, but I'm looking at these pictures for the first time with you guys. So here are the pictures. So let's just get to this, and I'll talk more about these. Leica Q3 and Leica Q3 43. I'm a huge, again, you guys know I'm a huge fan. I'm just adjusting the camera here. I'm a huge fan of German engineering. I'm a huge fan of mechanical things and high quality stuff, as you can already guess by my explanation here. And I'm probably just over explaining it. But I wanted something smaller. That's why I didn't get the Q3 or the Q343. With this being 5,100, another 1,500 would get me the Q3. Another, I think, 2,500 gets me the Q343. Same sensor, full frame sensor, beautiful lens on this one that I love. The other ones have better viewfinders. The other one, the Leica has, I guess the touch and the feel of the buttons and the mechanicals and all that kind of stuff. Here you can hear the clicks. Here's the aperture. This one feels fine to me, but I'm sure that the Leica feels better. I'm sure there's, something behind what people are talking about when they say, the experience of using that camera is like no other. But I wanted something more portable to take with me every single day, and not just most days. And that's what this is. The GR4 probably fits that bill a little bit better, but I wanted something a little bit higher end. I wanted something a little bit, just a little bit more than a GR4. And then I ended up getting something that I think is a baby Q343. That's my opinion. Change my mind. Drop a comment, bro. Let me know. If you're doing that, like and subscribe too. But no, honestly, like and subscribe if you could. That helps, man. I'm growing this channel. I got 60K followers on Instagram, and I'm growing this channel. Doing pretty good. And I got some good live streams I did. Anyway, and I'm doing a car show tomorrow morning. I'm doing that live. So we're going to do the biggest car show in Southern California live tomorrow. So we got that going. But this, to me, I was going to get a GR4, guys. I saw the price at $1,500, and I thought, if I'm going to pay a premium, I'm going to really pay a premium, and I'm going to get what I really want. So in my opinion, guys, this is a baby Leica Q343, and I am absolutely enjoying every minute of it. And I just want to keep playing with it and shooting with it every day. And mind you, I'm only on day 2. So yeah, that could fade, but I have a good sense of what I want these days with all the stuff I've been doing and buying and selling all this equipment. So, so stoked and happy with it. It looks beautiful, guys. It looks so beautiful. It feels good in your hand. It's a little tank, and it really look at the shape. It's kind of, it looks like a little baby Leica. It's very, very cool. Very cool little camera. I mean, just a absolute joy to hold in your hand and shoot with. I haven't found a need for some kind of thumb thing yet. Who knows? Maybe I'll get it and it'll end up changing my life. I'm joking, but or the grip. There's they make some wooden grips, and there's some Sony grip, and all this kind of stuff. So I'm waiting until I find like I need it. I did these pictures. This is the lens hood that I was using, the JJC lens hood. It's kind of a square looking lens hood. And if you want to see what that looks like on the camera, this is how it looks like on the camera. I didn't use this. I went without it because I want a smaller footprint. I want it lighter, and I want it to fit more places and have fun with it. So let's go to some of these pictures, guys. Here they are. This bottom right is the video. So just to give you a little context, here, let me move this here. And then here's the video.
I am doing a series on YouTube.
And you could see this is bright sunlight. And this is absolute bright sunlight. So you're going to see photos that I took in this bright sunlight. You can see how I'm taking these pictures right here. Let me see. I'm showing them the pictures.
It's hard
there.
to see, but I have a good flash.
And so I'm just running around
For human nature.
And like, for example, here's the girl that I took a picture of. This lady she's the first lady that I talked to. She was right here when I or a little further back. She was about here, and that's where you see this picture here, right? I just walked up to her with the FX3 in one hand, and with this in the other hand, and I just went boom, took a picture, and I'm using flash. And that flash is why you see her face is lit up. So you could see her face is nice and lit up. Of course, we got sun out there, but the flash is really doing magic out there. And for the first time, I never used flash like this, and I learned about it because of the street photography. Hey, what's up? You're back?
Oh, hey.
Yeah.
Guys, I got a Sheen haul. Just kidding.
And so I learned about flash watching some street photographers on YouTube, and I love the way those pictures came out. And now I'm doing it myself, and it's pretty cool. Anyway, this is the picture of her. Let's zoom in and see if it's in focus, because I just grabbed it and click. So that looks like it's pretty. That is spot on focus, guys. Look at that. That is like, this is perfectly in focus. I could see every single little hair, every strand. You could see her teeth perfectly. I mean, you could see every pore in her skin, bro. Look at that. It's absolutely crazy. And what is this is 200%. Here's 300%. I'm gonna go back down to where are we at. This is 100%, and this is back. So guys, this is like perfectly focused. Her clothes is in focus, and let's see what setting I was on. Okay. And actually, I gotta move this a little bit so I can use this. I was on 1/500. Okay, so that was a pretty 1/500 f5.6. ISO was 100, and obviously I'm at 35 millimeters. Let's keep going. Let's look at some more pictures. This guy, my settings were off. I was 1/500 again, but I had some setting was off on here. These people, I took a picture again fast. They were moving. They were walking across the street. They didn't even want to talk to me. But look at that focus. So the people telling you need IBIS, dude, bump up your shutter speed and let's go. Bump it up and let's go. I was zoomed in on this guy's nipple. Anyway, so this is 1/500. He's looking back. We're shooting right into the sun. The sun was literally right here facing us through the clouds. I had the flash. That's how his face is lit. By the way, I hit auto. I just did auto. I didn't do any other settings. I just selected all the images and I pressed auto in Lightroom. And that's what you're looking at right now. Okay. So that's what we're at right now. We're on auto. And okay, cool. And so we're still recording, and just make sure on my stream, guys. 1 second. All right, cool. Looking good. Here's another picture of this man. He turned and he was walking. I took another picture of him right when he turned. And you can see he's moving, I'm moving. Bump up your shutter speed and let's go. Guys, when you hear someone tell you that, oh no, this thing doesn't, that camera doesn't even have IBIS. Dude, 12K Leicas don't have IBIS. Look it up. Look it up. Look it up. And a lot of them you can't even buy. They're sold out. There's a waiting list. Here's another picture. This is still in focus. Look at that. Phenomenal. Look at that. You can see every little bump on the side of it. Here, let's go even closer, guys. But how are the colors? So this is raw, and this is auto. It looks good to me. I'm not a color geek like guy. You know what I mean? I don't do that. I'm not like freaking out about the color thing. So I don't know what to tell you. Looking at my stream here to make sure it's connected still, and it is good. All right, so let's look at some more. This is again another lady that I talked to with her guy. There's her guy. They're both in focus. They talked to me on my live stream, and I could show you where they are. They're in here, right about here somewhere. Where are they at? Well, you get the point. I was walking around. Oh, there they are. And so they literally were walking around, and I talked to them, and this is how they were, and I took pictures of them. And here are the pictures. This is her. Let's see, is she in focus? Bro, Can you get it? Can it be more focused? I don't think it's possible for it to be. It's absolutely perfectly in focus. Guys. Oh man, this is 200%, guys. And I'm walking and just boom, 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 you know? So here. Colors look okay. I didn't do any white balancing. I didn't do anything. I just walked out there, auto white balance, and I'm shooting. So that's how that looks. Here's a picture I took just of the beach. That's the pier on the left side. That's the pier on the. This is Huntington Beach Pier, guys. I'm an OC. This is Huntington Beach Pier right here. I love that. That's the ocean. Able to zoom in and see what everybody. Look at that from back here. It's like you can't even see nothing. But watch. I click right here. Bam! You can see this guy's taking a picture with his phone. Probably. She's probably farting. No, I mean, you could see so much. You could see all the individual lines in the net. You could see it's just it looks nice. Could it be better? Maybe if I sit and play with it more. It's my second day with it. This is me taking a picture of my rig. This is what I use to stream with. So I'm streaming. I literally looked at myself while I was streaming. And I have that picture too because I used it for my thumbnail. That picture, where is that picture? Or that video? Well, we don't need to see that. It's just a video of me holding this camera like this, and so you can see me taking pictures with it. Actually, I do have it. All right, it should be. Yeah, they're right here. So that's me. That's the FX3, and that's how that looks. That's me holding the camera. That's how I was shooting all day. So that's what you're seeing. This is Sanaz. So that other day when yesterday I did the first. Whoa. I did the first episode yesterday, and with the first episode, Sanaz was here, and I took some pictures of her, and this is how they came out. And when I did that, again, I was showing you, I was holding it in my hand and barely pressing the shutter, and it would lock right on her eye every single time. So I don't have any issues with focus. These are a couple pictures I took with her, right, sitting right there, in that chair next to me. This is by the way, I'm using on the FX3 for streaming and for this even this evening streaming that I'm doing with this lighting. I use the PZ power zoom lens. It's the 16-35 f4, and it's just doing a great job. And I told you guys saw it. I'm literally in I'm still in f8. So I can zoom out. Look at that. I can zoom all the way out to 16, and I can go all the way in. No problem. So she was sitting right there. I use flash, and this is the picture that I got. Grainy when you go in up close. Yeah, this is grainy because what's the setting? So the setting is f5.6. So I was at f5.6, 1/125 shutter speed. So 1/25 of a second. And the ISO is 2500. I do auto ISO. So, but it's okay. It's a beautiful picture. Who cares if it's grainy? Look at these phenomenal pictures. This is probably the most grainy. Let me see. Yeah, look at the grain on that. But it doesn't matter. Takes a great picture. Now, let's keep going. Earlier in the day before the live stream, I took a couple pictures of this area right here. That was pretty cool. F8, 2/50th of a second. ISO is 500. Look at that. Handheld. Oh, I'm not looking at the screen. I'm just holding the camera in some angle like this, and I'm not looking at the screen. I just boom, shooting the picture and guessing the framing. And that's why I took a couple pictures. I took quite a few, but these are 3 that I liked. This is just hitting the auto button in Lightroom. I didn't do any other edits. This is really nice. So let's see how it looks. A little grainy there. This is 500 ISO. Right? How about this? This is 200 ISO, 1/250th of a second, f5.6. This is clean, guys. I don't even know where the camera's focused. I'm just shooting, having fun with this camera. So this is 500 ISO. So probably going to be a little grain, but it's a beautiful picture, guys. If I posted this on something, you guys would love it. Look at this. If I play with some colors on this thing will pop, dude. It would be phenomenal. I mean, you definitely can look. You could definitely look at that. Just that alone. Just there's so much I can do with this image. That right there brought the wood out a little bit. But you guys get the point. Let's go back to, oh, you know what? I did HP. I'm going to go back to HP, but I'm going to show you some nighttime stuff. So we went out at night. Before I went out, I took a shot of the sunset. The sun was setting. And I made this a little bit kind of cool. I lowered the exposure on purpose in the camera, exposure compensation. So, so this dial right here, I just turned that down a little bit. So I turned that thing down to where it looked good in my screen, and I took a picture, and this is what came out. And I hit auto, and so that's what it is. Did I hit auto? No, I didn't even hit auto on this. Oh wait, I did hit auto. Yeah, I did hit auto. Okay, now let's look at some other pictures, okay? Here is, we're in the back of an Uber Black going to dinner with a bottle of wine that we took. And that's our Uber driver, and it's grainy, but look how it looks. It looks cool. I like it. Here's one that's, I think this was let's look at the settings on that one. The settings were 1000 ISO, f5 and 1/25th of a second. Okay. Now let's look at this. Here's Sanaz with baby Isla. This is Linda's daughter, and I just wanted to get a nice little picture and get comfortable. Get warmed up with pictures. And look, it's a little grainy, but that's okay. Look at that. You see the grain? This reminds me of like an OG film photo with a film camera. But it's a beautiful picture. Here's a picture of me holding a shot glass. We did some sake with we had sushi. We had some really nice house sushi. Beautiful, fresh caught fish. Look at my hand here, guys. Oh my God, this is so clean and focused. This is f4, 200 ISO, 1/125. It's a 1/25th of a second. A lot of times what I'll do is I'll go manual and I'll put in 1/25th of a second. I'll do auto ISO, and I just play with my aperture. And again, as I told you guys, I like to stay in the higher apertures so I can get, you could see a lot of what's going on. This one was a lower aperture. I did f4 and still got blurry background. I still got subject separation and a blur back there with f4 with this dang camera. This lens is just, I love this lens in this setting. So guys, when you're talking about GR4, remember f2.8 on a GR4 is like f4, I think, on a full frame camera. I think that's the equivalent. You can look it up. I can ask chat right now. But let's see. Hey, is f2.8 on APS-C sensor the same as f4 on full frame?
Hey there. Yep, you're basically right. When you're comparing an APS-C sensor to a full-frame sensor, an f2.8 aperture on APS-C gives you about the same depth of field as roughly f4 on full-frame. In other words, to get a similar background blur or depth of field on full-frame, you'd stop down to around f4. Let me know if you need more.
And then f2 on full frame is equivalent to what on APS-C?
Sure thing. If you're looking at f2 on a full-frame camera, that would be roughly equivalent to about f1.4 on an APS-C sensor in terms of depth of field. Basically, you open up the APS-C lens a bit more to get the same shallow depth of field effect. Let me know if you need anything else.
So there you have it. So when you're looking at these cameras, you got to think about that too. F2.8 on APS-C is like f4 equivalent full frame. F2 on this is like having being an f4 on any APS-C, but the GR4. So now I know the Leicas, they go down to like I don't know, 1.4 or something, 1.6. I'm not sure. I got to look it up again. But this picture is, look at this. I'm holding the shot glass in my hand, testing the flash because I was going to do some more pictures. But look at this. Look at how, look at the little, you can see every little hair on my knuckle. I don't see grain. But this is ISO 200, so you wouldn't expect to see grain. How about this shot glass? Looks like I already drank it. And I took a picture after it. Look at that, perfectly focused. You could see every little bit of that sake that's still on the edge of this glass. Look at this, guys. Again, I'm at 1/25th of a second. Anybody tells you anybody tells you not to buy the camera because it doesn't have IBIS, show them this picture. Here's Isla eating. Beautiful. Look at every single hair, every little dot. I mean, you could see everything. Look at that. Every sparkle on her nails. Look at that. Guys, please. You got some blur in the background. I'm in f4 still. Let's keep going. Here's black and white version. So I did, it's a JPEG. It's a black and white in the camera. So that's the setting I had it on. The film look or whatever. Not film look, but the look. Looks beautiful. Let's keep going. Here's the homemade sushi. Let's see how this looks. A little bit of grain. We're at ISO 2000 f5.6. We'll keep going. ISO 3200 f2.0. So I was a little ways away from him actually. So the flash didn't really catch. I don't know what it was focused on. Looks like it's focused, it's just grainy. Here's a black and white version. I posted that on my Instagram. This was a cool picture. This is us cheersing, and I'm an F2. And again, I don't like being an F2 for this reason, because look, my hand is blurred out and hers is perfect. So it was obviously focused right here. Right? This is 1/80, not even f1.2, not even 1/125. This is shutter speed of 1/80. 80th of a second. And so here's Isla again from a distance. This is super grain. Look at that. 8,000 ISO. That's, I think the flash was off. Here's another picture. Here's another picture. This is, I think, a film look. I believe this is film look. I guess it doesn't tell me here. All right, so we keep going. This is cheersing, and this is okay. Now we're at f6.3, what I like to be. So everyone is pretty much in focus. You still have some blurring in the background and some grain. It's okay. Baby Isla, probably grainy. Oh, not too bad. 2000 ISO. Colors are nice, guys. The way the pictures came out are nice. These are beautiful pictures. Look at this. This is the film look. This is the raw. Film look, raw. Film, raw. I noticed one of the film looks, I don't know which one this is, but it kind of like washes out your complexion a little bit, the skin tone. So this is a beautiful picture. A little blur here. We're at f2.8. A little blur here, a little blur back there, and beautiful subjects in focus. Let's keep going. Linda, all three of them together in one shot. Dwight, there's Sanaz. And her eyes are in perfect focus, guys. You could see look at this. You could see every little hair on her nose going up. You guys probably can't see that in the camera, but in there, but you can see it there. Yeah, look, all these little, look at that. You could see the exact, you could see everything. Beautiful picture. She looks so good there. Here's another picture. Wonderful smile. In focus. Again, 1/80, f3.5, 800 ISO. This one is 500 ISO, f3.5, 1/80. The flash is doing magic here, guys. Get a flash. Here's just a quick pic I took walking. I was walking and I took this pic. Is it focused? It's grainy. It's grainy. It could be more focused. Here's a picture I took of the little things we have on our wine glasses to know whose is whose. I don't know what's in focus here. Maybe my finger. Oh, right. That part of my finger. Or maybe like the eyes on this thing. I don't know. Something on my finger is in focus. Some part of something is in focus. Here's a picture with no flash. Here's with flash. I was testing the power of the flash. Here's a picture outside of at the house. Grain, but beautiful picture. Another one, nice picture. Wonderful picture. Here's another picture. Here's a picture of at the end of the night. Linda is drinking water. Bunch of grain, but the picture looks lovely, guys. It's a wonderful looking picture. Here's another cool picture. That's the wine glass, grainy, fine. Oh, here's a video. Here's a video, guys, of Dwight cutting. Here's another one. Let me do. There's an adjustment I just did to auto. I just hit auto on it, see how it looks. I don't ever edit video in Lightroom. I use Photoshop, but you could see how this looks. This is video from the from the RX1R III. Phenomenal camera. It's doing magic. So I can get 30 frames a second in 4K. I can do 120 frames per second in 1080p. I can do slow motion, which I've done. I could do anything I want. I can walk around and take I can walk around and take photos with 61 megapixels, the same sensors that's in a Leica, and a beautiful lens. Phenomenal overall unit. Killer autofocus. Beautiful setup. And then I can turn around and take video and do insane video. So there's more pictures, and there's more, to experience with the camera. There's more to do. I got to take pictures without the flash, and I got to do some different types of photography. I did a lot of street photography, a lot of people. I got to do more kind of scene, like I don't know what you call it, nature and this and some macro. I need to do some macro. I did macro the other day. I showed you guys, but I have to show you this. This is just insane, guys. First of all, look at this car. Right. Let me put it on your screen. Look at this. Look at this car right here. Absolutely amazing, insanely in focus. Just walking around in orange circle. But more importantly, look at this. This is my beta. This is Sherby. You want to trip out? Watch this. This is zooming in and looking at every single scale on his body. He's a little beta fish. And I'm doing a macro. I did a macro on him because with this camera, and I'll show you if you haven't seen it yet. With this camera, it has the option right here to switch it into a macro mode. So I could take this right here. Where is it? It's right. I'm trying to do this while I'm showing you guys, and switch this right here. And you'll notice that that lens kind of protrudes a little when I do that. Watch this. Look at the lens where it says Zeiss. So that's the macro mode right there. And you could see it better right there. Let me kind of zoom it out, bring it out for you guys. Beautiful lens, beautiful coating, beautiful finish on this camera, guys. It's just a joy to look at. It's a joy to use. It's absolutely wonderful, guys. If you're wondering, it's just mind-boggling how not mind-boggling. It's phenomenal how great it is. I didn't expect it to be this nice to in your hand and to look at. It's just beautiful piece. Forget about the quality of these images. But look at this. You could see if I click on them, you could see where'd he go? You could see every little of the fringing on the edges of his fins. And here, I'll zoom in a little more for you guys. Look at the fringing right here on the edges of each, not his fins, but his scales. You see these scales? And then the other thing is, I didn't know that on fish, the scales don't, I thought the scales finish on the body because I never got scales off of a fish's fins. But look how they go into the fins. They get smaller, 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 all the way down. You could see that here. Look at that. How beautiful is this, guys? This is insane. So obviously in macro mode, you have a shallow depth of field. So parts of them will be out of focus, I'm guessing. Yeah, you see that's out of focus already. I used to do lots of macro photography. Lots. I loved it. I when I was like 20 or something, I bought my first macro lens, specific lens, just to do that. So fun. So those are those pictures. This is from the day in Orange Circle. But I'll go back to these. Go back to these people that I shot in Huntington Beach real quick. Here's a guy in his car. I just walked up and took a picture of him. Here's another guy. They're all loving the camera action. That's the guy right there. Here's a girl that I walked up and took a picture of. I talked to her. Look, you could see every little hair. She probably wouldn't like me showing all this, but look, you can see every little hair. Look at that. Took a picture of this guy. He was zapped. He was on a good one. Took a picture of this guy with the flash on. Everybody with a flash. These guys, they were just hanging out. Let's see, who was it focusing on? Who knows? These guys were from Kansas. They're hanging out in HB. They talked to me. He was having a good time. His name is Tracy. And if you see this, Tracy, what's up, buddy? Thank you, man. Had a good time talking with you guys. You guys were great. These guys were great to talk to. Let's see, is it focused? It's focused enough, bro. Yes, it is focused. It's focused on her. What's my setting here? f5.6, 1/320th of a second. So 3/20th of a second. These guys don't seem like they're in focus. And I don't really care about focus. I mean, I do care about focus a lot, but I'm not losing it over the focus. Like, I don't usually do this. I don't go and look at all the focuses of every single picture. And blah, blah, and I look at it usually just from this angle right here. I don't go like this on every single picture and zoom into that. I'm doing this because people are saying that this camera doesn't have IBIS and that the lens is is not as fast as the electronics, you know, and the brains in this camera. So it's not able to keep up with the focusing. Not true. Whoever told you that, show them my videos. Show them my, let's see where is it focused? This one is less. They're walking, I'm walking 1/250. I mean, you're just gonna have that. This is not in focus. It happens. This on the other hand, look at the focus. Oh, we already looked at this. It's insane. Look at the hairs. Let's keep going. These guys. This guy. We saw these guys. We saw her. So guys, you get the point. I think that's a good kind of look at this. This is the video again that I was out there doing yesterday. I did a whole live stream on this, walking around and asking people questions about some things, and so that's the video. And I'm gonna pause that. We'll go back to this. So guys, my second day was a great experience again. And I'm not just saying that because, you know, it's my new shiny toy. I'm saying it because it did what I needed it to do. I wanted it there because, I mean, I could have taken pictures with my iPhone, let's all be honest. But I wanted a nice camera and I want to enjoy this process. And I want to take phenomenal pictures of people while I'm live streaming and interviewing them. So that's what I got it for. That's what I used it for. And it's killing it for that. Killing it. Absolutely killing. It's absolutely crushing. And it's like super fun to use. So loving it. The strap from Artist and Artisan is phenomenal. Silk and leather, made in Japan. Made in Japan. The camera's made in Japan. And so that's one of the things people say about this camera is, you know, it's one of the few Sony cameras that are made in Japan. Right down here, I think it is, right? Which is great. You know, of course, Japan is known for their quality, and you know what they do. They're really into what they do, and love them for that, man. Just a great lens to use, great clicky feeling, a lot of fun to shoot with, easy to operate. The menu is even better than my FX3 and the other menus. It like has a feature where you can just go to the thing that you want to use and click on it, and it'll move it to your favorites for you. I set up my different looks to be on this back wheel over here. I showed you guys in the last one. That lets me just click through black and white and film looks and sepia, which nobody ever uses, but it's just easy to flip through a film look and take a picture. Here, I'll turn it on for you guys so you can see it kind of the look at the lens in there. You can see it open up. Let's see, let's get it in focus for you. And then let's get this flash fired. You could just see it. It's a flash made to go on this Sony hot shoe. And here, bam. And so it's just a wonderful experience, and the flash works great when you get the proper flash. I reviewed this flash, so there's a nice video of Sanaz and I doing a review where we took a lot of different pictures, and you could see at the different settings of the flash and all that kind of stuff. So it's cool, but really good experience, guys. Highly recommend the camera. Again, guys, there's a reason why people wear Rolexes. And people pass them down. Who knows if this is a pass down kind of a camera? I'm not sure, but there's a reason why people wear Rolexes. There's a reason why people wear Casios. There's a reason why people wear Omegas. You know, Omega, you can get a badass Omega for like $2K. That'll be waterproof and kill it. You can also get a badass Rolex Submariner for $10K, and it'll kill it. It's phenomenal. It'll be the best watch probably the last watch you ever buy. You can get a Patek Philippe for $80,000, and people wear them. you can get this for $50,000+. And I wear it. It's scratched up. It's lapis lazuli, real stone. So anybody that tells you this camera is overpriced at $5,000, tell them go kick rocks. Show them my videos. But it's not overpriced. I think it's actually priced well to be a baby like a Q343. So that's my take on it. And with that, I'm going to say goodbye, and we'll see you on another episode. I'm going to do another episode after I use it again. I'm going to go do a car show tomorrow morning and use this camera to take pictures of the car show as well. And we'll do a lot of other things, and I'll come back and we'll look at those as well. So thank you guys. Appreciate it. And I'm going to